blame it all on my roots. Did my showings in boots and made sure the lockbox is on. First agent to know, first agent to show. I said, howdy, my name is Shaun. And I saw your surprise and tears in your eyes when I said your offer was gold. The next agent came and I just had to explain. Said, sorry, this home just done sold. And my inspector goes in low places where the radar glows and the mold chases most agents away. And it'll be okay. And my lenders got down payment assistance, and they'll underwrite you with the quickness my inspector goes in low places. Years ago.
Okay.
So I have a lot of friends that are still loan officers, and most of my friends are loan officers or realtors, which helps, right?
Yeah.
But not a lot of from our client base now.
Yeah.
Plus, remember, I was a loan officer back in the day of subprime. They probably shoot me to clients.
How easy was that job?
In the good old days, when it was at our prime, it was very easy.
Yeah.
After the crash, it was the
Terrible.
worst. But when it was just, we were giving people 9s and 10s on rates back then, and we didn't think it was quote unquote wrong. That's just what we did.
Right.
Yeah.
You could have a 660 score with 130-day late. Your rate was a 999. It just was what it was. Makes you a hell of a salesman. Because if you could sell someone a 999, God bless you, right?
Yeah.
Couldn't do that now. But it helped me for my realtor business as far as being a better sales professional.
Yeah. Well, let's get this rolling. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Ralphie and Ryan Show. I am your host, Rafael Velasco, a.k.a. Rafael the Realtor, sitting in with my co-host, the internet sensation, Mr. Ryan Reynolds, and our very special guest. I'm super excited for this. Thank you so much for being here. Our guest is Shaun Cochran. He is a realtor with eXp, and I wanted to be on air to tell you this, Shaun. From afar, I admire you a lot. I think your message is very genuine. I feel like you're really out to help people.
I am.
And help the lower income communities, because like you, we believe that home ownership is super essential to prosperity and to helping families and children leaving stuff behind. Thank you so much for taking what could be the busiest day out of the week for realtors, right? Sunday?
It is. Just left the open house.
Yeah, he just left an open house.
So again, thank you so much for being here. It is our honor to have you here.
Oh, man.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
God bless you. Boys sure know how to make me feel good, huh? Thank you. I appreciate it.
So I guess let's get started. What made you become a realtor?
Well, I was a loan officer for 10 years, as I was explaining off the air. And after that, I recruited loan officers for about 6-7 years. Now, I've wanted to become a realtor for probably the last decade or so. Problem is, if you're full-time at a mortgage company, they're going to kind of frown upon you also being a realtor. Conflict of interest type of thing. What are you doing? Are you recruiting, or are you being a realtor? So I never could. So I told my wife, if something ever happens, with recruiting, I'm going to get my real estate license. And lo and behold, back in late or mid 2018, I got fired from Loan Depot. No shade on Loan Depot, great company. Just when you start to cut things back, recruiters are generally some of the first people to get the old heave ho. So I called my wife when I was in the car. I'm like, hey, I got fired. She's like, oh Lord Jesus. I was like, no, relax, it'll be fine. I will, take the summer and I'll study for my real estate exam like I told you, and we're gonna do this. So I took the summer. Not really. It took about 28 days to get through the class.
Nice.
And I took the test and interviewed with about 8 brokerages. And here we are,
EXP.
EXP.
Why'd you go with EXP?
You know, it was not trying to pump your heads up. It was going to be Keller Williams Naperville. I had made that choice. Went and met with the manager broker out there, old boy named Jack. Nice guy. You know, I liked Jack. I liked Keller Williams. That's where I was going. So one of my loan officer friends, gentleman named of Gary Krakowski, with the Krakowski group, he called me up. I said, hey, man, I made my choice, Keller Williams Naperville. He's like, hey, it's awesome. He's like, you know, who'd you talk to? And I listed. I talked to Keller. I talked to Bear, blah, blah, blah. And he said, if you talk to EXP, and I didn't even know who they were. I said, no, I haven't. And he says, well, you should talk to them before you make a choice. I was like, dude, I'm tired. I don't want to talk to anybody else. I talked to 8 people. That's it. I just want to sell a house. I need some money. He's like, yeah, but we know each other a long time. You love me. Just trust me. Go talk to these guys. I said, you know what? Fine. So I didn't know anybody there. Went to their website. I called a young woman named of Terry Jeffries, and she picked up the phone right away. And I said, hey, my name is Shaun. I just passed my test. I've interviewed with 7 joints. A good friend of mine told me to interview with you before I, make a choice. And so we talked. And you guys, I mean, you guys are Keller boys. You know how it is. The models are similar, right?
They are.
Yeah.
And the thing that tipped me over the edge with EXP was the cloud-based part of it. When I went to speak with Jack at Keller in Naperville, they had a team meeting going on. It was like packed in there. A lot of energy. I was with it, right? They had a girl out of there named Amy Kite. I think she was in there. She had just cash.
Yeah.
Like as I was walking down the hall, there was like money on the floor, and they were like, "That's Amy." So I'm like, "Hey, this is I'm with this. It's something I want to be a part of." Anyways, they're all in there in the break room. They're kind of packed in there. There's people standing, they're sitting, they're having a little team meeting, and I like team meetings as much as the next guy, but I just remember thinking, snow and rain and all this, I'd like to do it from home. So to answer your question, the cloud part really tipped me.
The online training.
Yeah.
Is that virtual reality?
Yeah, I wish I brought my laptop, but I left the plug at home.
Yeah.
So I would have shown you. But yeah, it's called EXP World. And it's just like a video game, man. When you start, you make an avatar. So I got a little black kid in there with a cowboy hat on and my glasses. And you walk around the world, and that's essentially corporate, right? So, the accounting's in there, HR's in there, even though I don't know why the hell you need to talk to HR. I can't fondle another avatar. So, but they're there, payroll, agent services, all the same stuff. It's just online. So you go in there and you take a little number, and then, you wait 30 seconds, and then you're sitting down. Just like we're sitting down now, you see the other person's avatar.
Okay.
You come through either your headset or your computer, and you're talking to your microphone, and you're like, yo, this is going on with my check, and they fix it, and, so that was, I really like that. I'm a gamer. I'm a, tech guy.
Yeah.
So that really attracted me.
Yeah. Yeah, EXP is another great company. It seems like it's Remax, Keller Williams, and then EXP is making a quick climb, right?
Yeah,
I
we're
guess
doing okay.
the founders were previously with Keller Williams.
Keller
Is that correct?
Williams guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they understand the motto. They know what makes.
They're both great companies. I mean,
are.
and you know how it is online. People will bash Keller Williams and talk crazy about
Right.
EXP, so on and so
Yeah.
forth. I don't think it's necessary. I think when I tell this story, my fellow EXPers are like, "Oh, why are you talking great about Keller?" Because they're both great companies.
They are.
We don't have to beat each other up. Just 'cause
No.
At the end of the day, I don't care who you work for. People generally work with people, right?
Right.
If they don't like you, they're not going to do a deal with you. So I could work for ABC Mortgage. ABC Realty. I don't think it would matter. I think people are going to work with who they like anyway.
Right, who they feel comfortable with, and then when you show up at because I interviewed at a couple of different offices too,
Sure.
and I think it's who you feel most comfortable with, right? Who you
Yeah.
feel you can, where you feel you can grow.
It is.
And for me specifically, I chose Keller Williams because I was sold on Gary.
Yeah.
I've read a lot of his books. I watched a lot of his videos.
Gary's a killer.
He's a killer, man.
Guy, those books do amazing.
They're awesome.
I'm not saying I have one. I'm saying I know people who do.
Yeah. But his message. He's also a real estate investor, and I know that you mention, getting people into an investment as part of maybe their first purchase, which I really want to talk to you about because I've listened. Besides all your great singing videos, right? All your
Great
music
taste
videos,
on you two
man.
boys. God bless you.
Yeah, you're like really good,
guys.
man.
God
They're phenomenal. But I really like, besides those great videos, I also like the message that you put out, and I even just watched a video.
Stop making your landlord rich.
Yeah.
That
we
was
like
awesome.
That motto.
I mean, what are we doing? That's what we're doing here.
That's awesome because I believe that's what most people need.
Yeah.
It's what they want, but they need that motivation to get them.
I think some people, a lot of people will just, they don't think they can qualify, or they don't know they can qualify, or some people are so used to renting.
Right.
That's what you do, right? You grow up, you get a job, you rent a joint.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it is people are afraid to just apply. So what I tell any realtor, new, old, if you're struggling or you're looking for more business, my job as a realtor is 75% to get people to apply with a lender. That's
Step
it.
one, right?
That's it. I spend 90% of my time hooting and hollering about just go apply, because you never know what you qualify for. Most realtors know poop about the programs. Nothing. You know FHA, you know conventional.
Right.
You don't know what down payment assistance out there. You don't know what programs out there. Just apply with the gosh darn lender. Let the lender tell you what you qualify for. If you are approved, great. Even if not, they'll tell you, what steps to take in order to be approved, right?
Right.
But my job and what I do all day long is just tell people to apply.
Right.
Get them to apply with a lender, and that's it.
Yeah. That is the very first step. You have to that's that first step to home ownership. You have to figure out where you're at, right? Yep. Where your credit is, and then most of these loan officers are willing to help you through the process to improve your credit score.
Most,
yeah.
Pick a right one. Some of these boys get impatient.
Do they?
Yeah. It's okay.
That's all right. Some people are hard to get a hold of,
You gotta look. Let me tell you something. You guys and whoever else you may be listening to this, that's a realtor. Your lender is important, man. And if your lender it doesn't pick up the phone or it's hard to get a hold of, get rid of
drop them.
Look.
Makes your life
like
difficult.
a bad habit.
Yeah.
And they'll get over it. But you need a sphere of 2 to 3 good lenders that pick up the goddamn phone.
Yeah.
And everybody's not going to have a 700 score with 20% down.
Right.
If you get yourself a couple of lenders that are willing to work with these boys and girls, that's your pipeline, man. I don't care if it takes 6 months. That's good. That's when you get a call 6 months later, like, yo, remember Mr. and Mrs. Johnson? They're ready. Sweet. There's another loan. Because out of every 10, only really one or 2 are ready, which, I'll take them. But then down the road, you get a call, and maybe that's another deal for you.
Right. That long term.
Long term.
Yeah. You're thinking about the pipeline and filling it up, and and if you're trying to help as many people as possible, you're gonna have to work with different credits and different situations and stuff like that. Yeah.
But you go all the way down to 580, so
Yeah. But even the lender plays an important role. You do a lot of buyers, right?
I do.
Yeah, but they play a huge role, like for listing agents, right? Like if you're a listing agent, I mean, shit, you need to like with like guaranteed rate and stuff, how they would have like like those spreadsheets and stuff, like timelines and stuff. That plays a huge role. But you need to know where you're in that financing, because when it comes to the closing date and financing falls through, then the whole deal goes south, and everybody's so.
That's why it helps us to know different programs too, especially as realtors, because believe it or not, if you know 3 or 4 good programs, you may know more than some loan officers. I've had deals that were about to die, and I'm like, well, why don't you just flip to this program? And they're like, ooh, right? So, USDA is a perfect one. I had an old boy down in Wilmington doing an FHA deal, right? Something happened crazy, and FHA just denied the deal. He couldn't do it. But if you know anything about that, Wilmington, the entire city of Wilmington it sits in a USDA eligible territory. And I'm like, hey, let's flip to USDA. The other realtor, clueless. We flipped it, deal closed. But the whole point is, had I not known that deal dies.
Right. Yeah.
So you have multiple lenders you work with?
Mm-hmm. I got a solid rotation of 5. I think about it like basketball. You got 5 starters, right? Every once in a while, you got to put someone on the bench, huh?
Yeah.
So, but I got 5 starters, and I'll rotate you. And a lot of your job as a realtor is you're kind of your job is to gauge personalities. You know, if you get a buyer, someone calls you up off of Facebook, or you meet in a Jewel, and they're like, hey, you know, I want to buy a joint, and you work with 5 lenders, you can kind of figure from their personality who you're going to stick them with, right? I got a couple boys that are a little rough around the edges, like, you know, they're really good loan officers, but they're just,
right,
you know,
that perfect fit.
So a lot of times I don't stick certain borrowers with those boys, but I get nice lady who wants to buy a house, and she's, you know, from Naperville, and she's really sweet. I'm probably not going to stick her with my guy that I,
right.
You know, so your job is, but if you only work with one loan officer, you're going to put people whose personalities are going to clash. So I don't do that. And sometimes when I'm closing a loan, I'll take a picture or video, and I'll have one of my loan officers reach out. Say, hey man, why don't you give me that one? I said, I said, dude, because you're an asshole, right? Well, you're too rough. There's no way. And they're like, oh, I'll work on it. You know, so, you know, yes, I think you have a rotation of loan officers. So you as the realtor can place your potential buyers with someone who you think their personality will gel.
Yeah. So you've been working on this realtor business for 10 years, right? I mean, all the experience that you took from lending, now you're applying it to your being a realtor, and now that's the reason why you're that much more effective, right?
I think it's, you know, I think it's one of the reasons I to know about programs is huge. To know before you refer someone to a lender if they're just going to be smoked off the bat, meaning, now again, I don't recommend.
I've heard that before too.
Let the loan officers do their job, right? I don't recommend you asking 16 different qualifying questions because you're going to blow it. You don't know everything. But there's a couple things I know that I can ask, and I know you're going to be done, you know, off the bat. You know, I'm always asking, first of all, do you rent right now? If that answers a yes, then, you know, my next question is, let me ask you this. In the last 24 months, have you been over 30 days late on that rent? Well, I never paid the rent. The landlord was an asshole. Okay, well, we know that is what it is. But I generally will let the loan officer do his or her job.
Right.
Okay, just I want you to apply, and then we will figure it out. But yeah, it does help the fact that I was an LO just because I know a lot of programs.
Yeah.
So are you asking like what their credit scores are? Or are you
That's
asking
what they think it is.
Okay. All right, but you don't get too much into detail.
It's so simple.
I asked what they think it is, but most people know about Credit Karma, which is not the same. It's just not. Credit Karma score 100% of the time is not your real score, and I tell them that. Credit Karma says I'm, 580. Oh, well, you're probably 540, okay, or 620. I just want to know, bankruptcy foreclosures recently? No. All right, rent is on time? Yeah. And roughly what are you making? And I make $3,000 a month. How much you got coming out on debt per month? I don't have any bills really. Okay, sweet. But if I talk to someone who's got $1,000 student loan payment, a $560 car note, and you're only making $2,000 a month, I know off the bat you're done. But I will still send them to my loan officer because they can pull that credit and then they could work on it, and we can go maybe down the road.
Right.
Nice.
Yep.
So I know there's a lot more to you than you being a realtor. I see that you like Star Wars.
I do.
You're a huge gamer.
Look at you,
right?
Research, man.
Was
for you.
Was that already in your basement, or did you set that up for your podcast? Okay, so you just threw your cameras up.
Threw it down there. Good research, though. God bless you. No, it was down there, man.
And most importantly, you have a voice, man. You
I
got some vocals.
I really don't.
Really?
That is the power of
the power of the.
Yes. That is what music studios are for.
Yeah.
Your second one, the vocals sounded really, really good, like
super
deep.
crisp.
Oh, Josh Turner's one.
Josh Turner, yeah. That one sounded really good.
Listen, man, I go to a studio. It's called The Nook Studios. It's out of Mokina.
Okay.
Kid in there, his name is Nick. Nick, he'll take care of you. So if you want to do a parody song, you write the lyrics, write them all up. You go see Nick. You sound like right? You come out of there, and Nick will take care of you. But I'm just telling you, people compliment me all the time. I'm like, oh, thanks, but it's the studio.
Well, you know what? You wrote the lyrics, right?
I did write the lyrics, so I'll take credit for that.
So what's the process of making one of those videos?
So, first of all, you got to have a song, right? So you figure out some instrumental or whatever that you want to do it to. Write the song. And then the first thing, you got to go record your track, right? So you go to the studio. I called Nick up. Nick, got a new song. And he just laughs because he thinks it's funny. He's like, oh, come on in, brother. So we come on in. We do the studio session. A song will take you about an hour. It's not that long. I mean, assuming you're not nervous.
To record?
Yeah.
And he's in
But
the
you
studio
already-
with you?
He's the engineer, so I'm in the booth. I mean, he's got it out of his house like this. It's really nice in there. But he records, he's got a lot of artists, some that you've heard of that he's worked with. So his detached garage is the actual studio.
Oh.
Got guitars in there, the acoustics like this, but it's the whole nine. And he's in the house on the board. You put the headphones on, you're in there by yourself. He's like, you ready? And we're ready, and we go. Then after you record it, you go back in there with him and you'll mix it down, right? That whole process for one song, I'll do a song in an hour. Record and mix it.
But you already have the lyrics
I got the
ready.
lyrics written.
Okay.
Just on my phone, just scrolling while I'm.
Yeah.
How long does it take you to write the lyrics?
Not long, man. I mean, you give me a song, an hour or two tops. It's not a long time, yeah.
Dude, the lyrics were really, really good for
That's something I can do. I can write songs
Like-
all day smoking. I got 5 more on deck, ready. 5 more songs already written. I just haven't recorded them yet.
Yeah.
You
It
know
was
what I mean?
good. Like the lockbox on the door. It
Hey,
just,
man.
it flowed.
Look, thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, it doesn't take me long hour
Yeah.
or so to write it.
So who was Josh in high school? Did you're always into cowboy boots and hats? or-
Well, considering my name is Shaun and not Josh, but I'll forgive you because I know where you were going. It's okay, dude. It's fine.
I'll tell you.
I'm teasing you.
I'll tell you what I was thinking about, because you said that the lyrics flowed, right?
Yeah.
And Josh said the exact same thing.
Yeah, Josh. You've seen his stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stuff is great.
you did a recent video with him about
Yeah, the landlord?
That was
Yeah.
hilarious.
That was hilarious.
Maybe we'll
My
put
wife
it
wasn't
up
a
there.
fan.
Why
But
not?
she's like, oh, people are gonna think you're, anti-landlord, this type of thing.
Yeah.
Which I'm not. We all own houses, so I'm not. But it's just funny.
Yeah. So anyways, getting back to who Shaun was in a high school.
school?
Yeah.
I was kind of a goof. I played football, but I wasn't good. I only played for the girls. So I never really even played like.
For the jock status.
Correct. I wanted to be on the football team just because I knew if you're on the football team, So
Yeah.
I played like special teams, stuff like that. I had 1 carry my senior year as fullback for 7 yards. True story.
Nice.
But then I ended up getting the award at the end of the season for the highest average. 7 yards. Right, it's great.
Yes,
My friends are looking at me like, dude,
1-7,
shut up. But I got the award. I'll take it.
It's real, right?
So, in high school, I just kind of wanted to play Madden and chase girls around. That's really all I did. I wasn't like big superstar jock. My brother was a DJ and he did some rapping and this type of thing. My daddy, God rest his soul, worked for Motown Records for 20 years. So I was always into music.
Yeah.
Right. I like everything. I like anything from rap to metal to Aerosmith to country. The whole gamut.
But you're more into country though.
I like country music for my parody videos.
Okay, so the Cowboy Realtor, when did that come into play?
What's today? This is all right. So over the last spring that just passed, spring of 2019, my mother, she lives down in Houston with my cousin. My mom's getting up there. She's a good old bird, but arthritis and all this. She got to get the heck out of here, go somewhere warm. So she lives in Houston. She called me up. She said, "Baby, come down to Houston. Take your mama to the rodeo." I said, "Rodeo?" She said, "Come take your mother to the rodeo. I've never been to the rodeo." I said, "Fine, I'll come on out." So before I left, I went into Aurora, and I bought me a cowboy hat at a Western wear store out there. I forgot the name of the guy, Mr. Reyes, I think. Anyways, went in there and I said, "Excuse me, sir, I'm going to Texas. I need a cowboy hat."
You didn't own any cowboy boots or
Not one.
hats prior
No,
to
sir.
this.
So you
Spring.
just wanted to fit in?
I want to fit in. I don't want to go to. If you're going to Texas, you got to have a cowboy hat. What am I doing out there? It's like when in Rome. So I bought the hat.
So you're saying if I have to go to Texas, I should buy a cowboy
You
hat?
should buy a cowboy hat.
Okay.
So I got the hat. He tried to sell me some boots, but they were like really expensive. I'm like, boots, fuck that, right?
Yeah.
So I get on the plane. I go to Houston. I had to buy a box for the hat because the hat's too big to wear on the plane. So anyways, I get to Houston and I get off the plane and I'm walking out of the Southwest, thing. And one of the little girlies that works there was like, "Excuse me, sir, you got a sec?" I'm like, "How can I help you?" She's like, "You're not from here, are you?" I'm like, "No, why do you say?" She says, "Well, I'm going to give you a secret. You can wear cowboy boots without a hat, but you cannot wear a cowboy hat without the boots."
Oh.
And I said, "Oh, shit." All right? She said, "Tell you what, I'm going to take care of you." She reached in her pocket. She wrote something down on a little thing. And the whole time I'm thinking, I'm like, I'm married. I hope this chick ain't trying to, give me her number. And she were giving me a name to a store called Cavender's Boot City. She said, where are you going after this? I said, I'm going to go see my mother. She said, before you go see your mother, go here, get some boots. I said, fine. Took it. Thank you very much. I got a rental truck. I got a big pickup out there. So I was halfway there. And then I drove to this Cavender's Boot City. When I got there, just boots and buckles. I was like, man, this is great. So I went in there. I was in there for like an hour. The young lady helped me out. She says, here's some boots. So I put them on. So now I got the hat, I got the boots, I got the truck. I said, okay, I should be fine.
Yeah.
Right? The whole time I'm there, no one looks at you one way or the other. No one. And I'm a black kid with cowboy boots. I was thinking someone would be like, what's that? Nope. It's all normal there.
Yeah.
So the whole time I'm there, I didn't take them off. I had Jordans with me. I didn't even put them on. I wore the hat and the boots the whole 3 days I was there. It was great. And but on the way back, I forgot to put the hat back in that box, so I had to wear the hat back on the plane. So I wore the hat on the plane, took it off, because you can't really negotiate in there. And when I landed in Midway, and walking through the terminal in Midway with that hat,
oh,
boots,
yeah, for sure.
people were like, and I liked it. I was like, I like the looks I'm getting. Yeah, this is great.
It's good.
And people tend to treat you, people call you sir. They immediately, one lady told me, she says, if I see someone with a cowboy hat on, I immediately think he must be a gentleman. So everybody's very respectful, and how can I help you, sir? And I was like, oh, that's it. This is great. So next day I had like a showing or an inspection or something, and I wore the hat, and I made a little video. I'm like, hey, come on out, see this house, blah, blah, blah. And people were with it. They're like, oh, this guy goes to Texas for 2 weeks, and all of a sudden. But I was like, you know what? That's it. I already had my pickup.
Oh, you already had the Ram?
I already had the Ram.
Okay.
So I'm like, this is great. So
it was
I
meant to
roll
be.
with it. It was meant to be. Now I'm the singing Cowboy Realtor. It's terrific.
That is beautiful.
There's the story. It's a good story.
Yeah. Let me compliment you on one thing.
Sure.
I will have to agree that you do demand respect. When you knocked on my door, you walked in with your tall hat, your cleaned boots, and your suit.
God bless you.
Demands respect.
Here every week. Every week I'm coming here.
So the video. Let me give you another compliment,
Sure.
Mr. Cochran.
I'll take it.
Famous.
All right.
The video quality of these music videos is super top notch.
Thank
How
you.
did you go about? We already talked about the audio.
Yeah.
How did you go about the video aspect of it?
So as growing up, a lot of kids, especially when I grew up. I'm a little older than you boys. We all wanted to rap back in the day. So my brother did some rap videos. I did one or two back in the day. I'm not telling you about those.
Are they still out there on the internet?
Yeah, I'm imagining so.
I'm going to search for them.
They're there. So I knew with these videos, audio has to be good and video quality has to be good. There's plenty of realtor parody videos. Half of them look like poop, right? Doesn't matter about my singing really. It has to look good. It has to, it has to be appealing to the eye. So I work with a young kid. His name is Jamal Bradley. And Jamal is actually a barber, really popular one. He's got like an Instagram page. He's got like 20,000 followers.
Where does he barber?
He's a Joliet kid.
Okay.
And he's the guy that does, let's say you're bald, like with men, like especially with like black guys. Like, so you see how I'm bald, right? He's the guy I can come out of his shop after 3 hours and look like I have a full head of hair with braids. Yeah, he does that. His work is sick. He also used to shoot videos. Well, he still does, excuse me. Shoots music videos for local rappers. I think he did like somebody from Chief Keef or something like that. So I called him up because he did one of my rap videos that I've been trying to hide so well. He did one of those when I called him up. I said, Jamal, got an idea. I'm going to do another video. He's like, man, I thought you didn't rap anymore. I was like, no, you got it all wrong. So I want to do a country video. I apologize. Let me turn that off.
That's all right.
He's a country. I said, just trust me. So I explained it to him. And he's like, yeah, I'm down. And so I got him. Now, he shoots with a DSLR. He's a DSLR kid. Shot with I think he's a Canon shooter, right? I wrote the scenes already. So along with the audio, I had a storyboard already. I knew from the lyrics, I knew what I wanted to see. I just need Jamal to shoot it and use his, his creative eye. So he come on out, and we just did scene by scene, man. He said, what's the first one? I said, the first one is I'm going to be, open a door. And what he does is he shoots everything 3 times from 3 different angles. So one camera, right? Shooting me from this angle, shoot from the other angle. So we went through all the scenes, and then he overlays the music on top. I could have technically edited myself. he's a better editor, and I obviously can't shoot myself, which is why I hired him. And I got a lot of compliments on the, people like the song is great, but I got a lot of compliments on the quality of the video. Like, man, this looks like a real music video. Right, and I think that's the key. The audio has to be good, and it can't look cheap. It has to look good, and that's what we did. He shot that with one DSLR, that first video. The whole thing, it took us about 3 hours. We did the scenes at my house first, right? Because you know why? Because I had the storyboard already written. I already knew the scenes. I just needed my actors to cooperate. Half of those guys were law officers. Their phones are ringing. They're talking on the phone. I'm like, dude, hang up the phone, right? My inspector is actually my real estate attorney. That big black kid with the hairy chest.
Oh my God, that was perfect.
He's an attorney, man.
Perfect.
But my real inspector couldn't make it. He had an inspection.
Okay.
My real inspector, I'll give him a shot.
Did he have a hard hat on?
I had the hard hat.
You had the hard hat.
That's my hard hat because when I first became a realtor, I was doing these these deals in the city. And, you know, I damn near knocked myself out one day. Going down some steps. My buyer had to damn near slap me out.
So when you go on inspections, do you wear hard hats?
I wear that now. I keep the hard, except today because I wouldn't have a showing. But I keep the hard hat with me in the car. Now I go do showings in the city or in Cook County. I stick that hard hat on.
Yeah.
Because going down them steps, I'm a klutz. I'm telling you, I almost knocked myself out in that house. Had it not been for my buyer to snap me out of it, I'd still be laying there.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I went to Home Depot. I got me a hard hat. I was like, this ain't going to happen no more. And I still hit my head all the time. But hard hat or my cowboy hat doesn't knock me out.
Good. I wanted to compliment you again on your video and to tell everybody that a lot of people agreed because you have over 1 million views on Facebook on that
lucky,
video,
dude.
man.
So lucky.
That's one of those videos that went viral that hit so many different communities, right?
Yeah,
It made it on the news.
It was on the news. It was on National Association of Realtors did a write-up on it.
Did they?
They did. Cranes. Let me get a shout out to Dennis Rodkin of Cranes Chicago Business. He's the first one that did an article on it.
Really?
Once he did an article on it, then WGN did a spot on it, and then Fox News 32 Chicago did a spot on it. Then National Associate of Realtors is like all these people, so it was great. I wasn't expecting that though.
Yeah.
That's luck.
Is this something that you planned to do? Were you planning on taking your realtor business through this phase of marketing, this video, audio, marketing?
Well, because, like I said, I liked to rap back in the day. I can't sing. So, and now that I'm a professional realtor, I can't really be rapping. I mean, that just doesn't make sense, right? So I figured now here's an excuse to do silly videos because that's what realtors do. And no one's going to look crazy at me. I purposely didn't do a rap video just because I don't want to be typical.
Cliche.
Everybody, right. I mean, don't make me say it, but you understand.
Yeah.
All right, so I didn't want to.
Well, you went the total opposite, which is good.
Look, who doesn't like good country song? That's the first thing. Second of all, it's not going to offend anybody doing country music. I do some crazy rap song,
Yeah.
So I said, this is safe, and it's funny, and I like to be silly. I'm a big fan of, you only live once. It's okay to have fun. So I did the country music song, and it just, man, by the grace of God, dude, it wasn't supposed to do that. I told my brother, if I get 5,000 views, I'll be with it. This will be great. 5,000.
So was that the 1 million views? Was that fully organic?
Yeah, man. I didn't even boost it or nothing.
That's awesome.
And
that's so good.
It jumped off because of the news first, and then there's a Facebook page called The Lighter Side of Real Estate.
Oh, that made it on there?
Made it on there, and I'm telling you, the news did well.
That's a big page.
Big page. All realtors are like 900,000 realtors. I don't know who the hell's on there, but they put it on there, and then
that's the power of social media,
dude. It was great. So yeah, I got a call from some lady from Quebec one day, a realtor at Quebec, and I saw the number on my phone. I'm like, but things were going so well. I'm like, I don't want to miss any business. Maybe it's someone trying to move from freaking Canada here. So I picked it up. She's like, oh, Shaun, I just wanted to tell you. Of course, my accent is. We saw the video. We love it. And they put me on FaceTime. There's a whole bunch of office in Quebec with all these nice-looking Quebecians. I know that's horrible. And they were like, yeah, hey, brother. And so the whole point is it was really nice. Yes, I'll take it.
That's cool. So did you gain any business from that video?
I don't know if someone used me. I don't think someone saw the video and said, I'm calling this guy to be my realtor.
Right.
I think that it's more for branding. And branding is a marathon, not a sprint. So I think it gives me, I don't want to say credibility, but it almost helps people maybe believe or get more comfortable with me off the bat. Because I tell people that I talk to. Either I get a lead from somewhere or a new client. I tell everybody, hey, listen, you a country music fan? No matter what they say, I'm saying, look, you want to know my personality before we meet? Google Shaun Cochran, Garth Brooks. And then they call them back, oh, I saw it, da-da-da-da. As far as someone seeing the video and say, I'm going to sell my house, I'm going to sell it with Shaun, I'd probably not. It just helps with people know me. People recognize me. Then they see the hat, and they put two and two together. That's basically what that is.
Yeah, I think Ryan and I talk about this all the time where, most people buy just a couple houses in their lifetime. So the chances of you catching them at the right exact time that they're ready to move, or there's a big change in their life where they need to, look for the upgrade or downsize, they're slim. But if you can keep their attention in other ways when they are looking for a realtor,
Correct.
they're going to think,
correct,
the Cowboy Realtor.
Yeah, I remember that guy, right?
Yeah.
And what is our job as a realtor is simply that the people in our local market know you're a realtor. I live in Plainfield, so I'm Plainfield, Joliet, Bolingbrook kid, right? And as long as the people in my little 2, 3, 4 little cities know I'm a realtor, that technically is enough to feed us forever. Because we grow on trees. There's a million realtors out there,
Yeah.
And I go hard on social media with my Facebook. I pound my sphere with realtor stuff all day, every day, twice on Sunday. You guys probably follow me on Facebook. You see it. It doesn't matter what it is. Constantly putting stuff out there, on a video or a picture, a saying or a meme. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I just want you to know that I'm a realtor, and if you so happen to want to buy or sell, maybe I'll get lucky and you'll call me. That's what that is.
Right. So let's talk about that real quick because
Sure.
I've listened to a couple of your videos on Facebook and I feel inspired by your message.
See?
It works.
Damn it, that's what I'm saying.
It works because I feel like you're very genuine on your approach and your message to try to get I'm part of a minority group, right? And
I was wondering which one.
Mexican.
Are you?
I'm Mexican. Yeah.
You couldn't tell?
I
You
just,
thought he
I,
was...
I just didn't know one way or the other. We're not going to guess.
What would be the other one? Arabian?
Iranian, Saudi, like
I get
this.
that all the
He
time.
gets it
Yeah,
a lot.
sure.
All the time.
Nothing wrong with Iranians. God bless you.
I walk into 7-Elevens and
They're like,
yeah, exactly.
and then you can't speak back, and they're like,
He
Yeah.
starts getting free stuff there.
What's the matter? I had one guy tell me
you realize it's horrible.
Yeah.
he says he told me, are you sure? I said, yeah, I'm sure. And he's like,
Are you sure that your nationality?
You're right. And I said, I can ask
I'm
my
pretty
mom.
sure.
Yeah. For sure.
I told him, I can ask my mom. I think he's my dad. I think I'm 100% Mexican.
Are you bilingual?
I am bilingual.
Good for you.
Yeah. But getting back to that, I feel that I consider my home my hub,
Right.
like where I do. And now we're spending more time than ever in our homes. We're getting, a lot of people are getting groceries delivered. They're getting everything delivered. So you're spending time at home and you want to have that nook be yours, have some a pride in home ownership.
Sure.
And I also think that you build equity, you have a stable household for your children,
Yep.
and maybe in 30 years it will be paid off, and you can go into their retirement home or downsize into that condo.
Sure.
So I find my responsibility is to share that message, right, for home ownership, and I sense it from you that's really what you're trying to do is just help
People getting a home.
exactly.
I just, you know what, I just, at the risk of sounding cliched, right, I do think it's very important to own a home. I also know that if you do ever plan to retire, whomever you are, generally you're going to have some property in that portfolio, whatever you deem, your portfolio to be. And aside either from a single family home or a condo, if you probably hear me talk a lot about multi-units, because, if I had to go and do it all over again, my first home would have for sure been a multi-unit. Qualifying for a 2-unit is the same thing as qualifying for a single family. 3 and 4 units, you need a little bit more of reserves, but if your first home is a 4-unit, you're living in one and the other 3 are covering your mortgage, what are we talking about? You're living for free, essentially. You just can't beat it with a stick. You can live in there 1 or 2 years, move out of there, get you another 4-unit, do the same goddamn thing. A lot of people just don't think it's possible, and I think it's our job as realtors to just, I don't want to say give hope, but let people know about the possibility, right? Most people don't believe it. Look, if you're a doctor or a lawyer and you got 50 grand in the bank and you got a 720 score, you already know what you can do, okay? But most people don't, especially first-time homeowners. They've been renting $1,600 for God knows how long. And, if we can just show them that it's possible and maybe you should try, I think that's where success comes in. And I tell people all day, people aren't using me because I'm the best realtor in the world. I'm new. They're using me because they see me, and that I'm pushing the same message. Just consistent. Just try. Just apply. Stop making a landlord rich. Just try. Just apply. Stop making a landlord rich. Pound it into you that maybe one day you call me up. You know what they say? You know what, brother? Screw it. I'd like to try. That's all I want. And when people do it, ends up working out, and everybody's happy.
Beautiful, man. Love the message and the and your own podcast. We also want to mention that Shaun has his own podcast in his own basement.
It's not as snazzy as this, okay? So do not judge mine off of what you see here.
But the information is great.
Thanks, man.
Which honestly is the most important.
Yeah. I want to, like you guys said before we came on, look, I want to talk about real estate too, but it's important to get to know your guest, right? It's okay to talk about personal stuff. It's okay to go a little deeper because people want to know who they work with. So that's why I enjoy doing this and mine.
Yeah. Very, 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 very important. So
I'm making you smile over there, man. You love it. Good for you.
What do you see? What do you see in your future as far as business wise? What are you hoping to do here in the next year or two?
I would like to learn some on the commercial side as well, like commercial multifamily, 5 or more units, this type of thing. I believe I would like to start a team here in the next year or so. I wanted to get through at least 2 years so I know what the heck I'm doing.
A team through EXP?
Yeah. Just a team of agents with me, because I think if I can do a good job like with my branding and getting myself out there, there'll be deals that come my way that, I'd like to dish off to other agents because, I live in Plainfield. So I took a listing in Skokie. Now, I took it, and don't get me wrong, I'm grateful, but I had to go up there, an inspection, and dude,
right.
It was killing me.
Yeah,
and then it snowed 2 hours. So I would want to be able to, dish that off to an agent on my team. I'll take a couple bucks, and then they can go do the rest, and it all works out. So I think a team would be in my future. Learning some commercials in my future. And then, look, I'm going to make some more videos. I got to make at least 2 a year. That's the
goal, huh?
I have to, because it's fun and people like it.
Right.
And even if you don't, okay, whatever. But I think it's something that's fun, and like I told you before, it's okay to be silly.
Right. So you're going to work on the branding, or you're already working on the branding. But
all day.
Work more on the branding.
Yep.
And then see if you can have a team around.
See if I can get a team. See if I can, work on different referral sources. I do a lot of, when I was a loan officer back in the day, I did a lot of cold calling. So I'm a cold caller. I don't mind it.
You still cold call?
Absolutely, gosh darn right. And I'm telling you, the average realtor is 57 years old in the United States. Okay, and sometimes it's hard to teach an older dog new tricks and all this, but I think realtors make a serious mistake by not cold calling. I don't care who the heck it is, whether you're calling FSBOs or for rent by owners or, I call lawyers, cold call attorneys, and it works. One of the attorneys sent me 4 listings, in the last 12 months, right? And, I just make it my priority to cold call. And I also cold call trying to recruit other agents. Not a ton, maybe 10 a week. But if you can make 50 cold calls a week on something, eventually one of those are going to pop. I don't care if you suck at cold calling, right? Eventually someone's going to call you back or send you an email. Hey, man, you called me. Turns out I am looking to do blah, blah, blah. So, I think it's important. And, yes, I cold call all the time. I was doing it this morning before I left to go do my open house.
Awesome. Yeah, we cold called probably 6 months, 7 months.
How'd that work?
It was terrible.
Were you cold calling for sellers?
We actually...
Circle prospecting, right?
Well, yeah. So we were doing probates. Okay. So, that's talk about a tough cold call, though.
Look, it's not easy. And look, I'm gonna give you a secret. I don't cold call for sellers generally. I talked about the FISBOs. What I found is quickly, my first 60 days is, I was like, okay, cold calling for sellers is not working for me. I thought that people generally will use a listing agent that were either referred or that they know. So that's when I focused on, I was like, I'm only focusing on buyers. So now all my Facebook stuff I do, whether I'm boosting an ad or making an ad or whatever, 99.9% of it is for buyers. I still call for sale by owners, leave messages, text, this type of thing. But it really hasn't panned out, to be quite honest with you. The buyers is what's keeping me flowing. I got like 7 listings now. They were all referred by the buyers.
Awesome.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't because I was out there looking for sellers.
Yeah. Yeah. So we stopped that, to be honest with you, just because we didn't see any real results. And then we had systems to follow up because, it is a long-term process. Yeah. But then after this new year and, people are robocalling everybody, I just didn't think it was the best use of our time. I definitely would not be against it. If it came down to it, I would definitely pick up the phone again. We just didn't find very much success in it.
You got to do what's working for you.
Right.
But buyers grow on trees if you can find them. I mean, it's more convincing them to try.
Yeah.
And first-time home buyers don't shop you like sellers do.
Yeah.
But if you're a first-time home buyer and you take someone that's at home watching a Bulls game and just get them to apply, and then they get approved, they're not going anywhere.
No.
Generally, knockwood, of course, right? But they're so happy that you helped them get, and then what do? Hey, Raphael, Ryan, these guys help me out, which is what you want.
Yeah, the first time home buyers. It's getting them across the goal line, pretty much, right?
Getting them approved,
and then they're forever grateful. They're so happy.
Yeah, and look,
that may be the best part.
It is. I mean, think about it. They were renting $1,500.
I'll tell you.
Good God.
I'll tell you what. The feeling that I had walking into my first home purchase, I felt like I had accomplished something. Extreme, because I didn't think it'd be possible for me. So when I got it done, I said, man. And then now I look at my buyers and I'm like, I want them to feel what I felt.
That's when you get the tears. That's when you get I can't believe it's, you get the permission, of course, and you're going live with them while they're at the closing table getting keys. Man, like I said, not to sound cliched, it's nothing like that. You can't beat someone at the table blubbering because you helped them get a home.
Right.
I mean, forget Facebook ads and all that. There's your, that's inspiration.
Right.
Right. And if you can inspire someone like that, I mean, God bless you. Realtors, we got a lot of power. People give up, right? No, I can't do it. Or I'm just going to keep renting. You and I have to convince them to take a chance, man. Look, try it. What are you going to lose? Gosh darn it. You're paying $1,500 a month. That's $18,000 a year. That's the same thing as paying for a $185,000 home, depending on tax and insurance.
Right.
Let's try. Finally, I've had somebody block me. Not block, but unfollow me. Right now, she's approved. She's a veteran, actually. She told me, she's like, dude, I unfollowed you on Facebook because you're always saying the same shit. All right? But she called me, and now we're out looking as we speak, right? It's like $300,000, a VA.
Yeah.
She's been renting. I just don't know what she was thinking.
Yeah.
But it works. The messaging works. It's just we just have to keep at it.
Yeah. Well, home ownership, I believe, changes families, and then the pride in home ownership and having a community that's primarily homeowners creates a better community.
It does.
So we want to do that for my community, every community, right? But especially the low income communities, because
it does. I want to do it for you too.
Yeah. Well,
you already
realtors,
got a house.
man.
We're
realtors, man. Yeah.
God dog it.
But one last thing that I want to go over before we get off the air is, I know you cold call, but you have all this video equipment, and you have a podcast, and you're always on social media sharing your message. What do you think how do you think the realtor business will change in the next 5 to 10 years?
I think, of course, I'm no expert, but I think a lot of the more technology that comes into play, it's going to change. I think iBuyers is going to change a lot, right? I think that there's other companies out there that want to take the role of the buyer's agent away. and kind of do it all automated. But I also think that it's not going away. And primarily because real estate, when you get all down to brass tacks, it is really a local business, and it's very much referral and relationship based, right? Most people don't know how to sell their own house. You think you do. But you've seen the statistics versus for sale by owner versus using an agent. I don't care who you are, any way you slice it, you're going to make less money doing it by yourself. It will take you longer. So I think we still play an important role to further answer your question. I think there's going to be a lot of realtors get out of the business because of these changes, and they're going to kind of be distraught and just say, screw it and go do something else, which I think is a shame, but will be better for those who stay. They can change the rules of the game, but the game isn't going anywhere, right? Just like kickoffs at the NFL, they moved them up, they still have kickoffs.
Right.
Gosh darn it, there's always going to be a need for a local realtor to kind of hold your hand through this process, whether it's buying or selling. And so I just don't think, machines and all that can take it away. But I'm sure it'll change. I don't know how exactly, but that's all right. It's like anything else, man.
Just adapt to it.
What are you going to do, right? Everything changed.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, we didn't even have a cell phone. If I would have had a cell phone in high school, I'd be in prison. Seriously, that's all the stupid stuff we did, and you're going to record it now? No, right?
Yeah.
So, but we all survived. I think it's like anything else. The world will change, real estate will change, but agents will always have a place. We ain't going anywhere. I forgive the horrible English. And, I think we just got to battle through it like anything else.
Yeah. I think it's going to be about branding, right? That's the people that are going to stay alive. I know for a fact you're going to have a future for many years. I feel like
if not real estate, I'm saying I'm do something.
You're going to do something,
dude,
man.
you might have a
look.
record deal, dude.
You got the look too, man. So if you wouldn't have told me that you just started with this cowboy stuff, I would have said this guy's he's from Texas. I'm sure
people
he's from Texas.
Yeah.
Because you have that look.
Look, I'm not going out of my way to tell people I'm not. It's just I liked it. It worked. How else do you brand yourself? It's tough.
There's so many, like you said, there's so many realtors out there.
Growing trees, and you got realtors on your Facebook. What do they say? Oh, list with me, or I'll give you a free CMA. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But you know what I mean. It's the same.
Yeah.
It is.
Why?
That's why it's so tough to get information out there. You got to be somewhat creative.
You got to be creative. Did you see that guy with this kid in Michigan? It was just in the news there. That he had a condo listing, and he hired a very nice, attractive young lady with tattoos and all that, had the Santa outfit on. Did you see this?
No.
You got to see it. I'll send you the link when I get out of here. He hired a model, 2 models. One was a guy. He was dressed as Santa, but had like a mask on. But the other one was a young lady, obviously a model, tatted all over, blonde, with a very scantily clad Santa costume on. And, he got all these views. The news was there. They were promoting his open house. And then, if you look online, a lot of the agents were saying, oh, it's so unprofessional, da-da-da. But when it's all said and done, his job is to what? Promote his listing.
Yeah.
It's on the news. It's on TV, right? And so I think creativity works. Is everybody going to like it? No. A couple of my cousins beat me up a little bit. Look, when the first video came out, I got a couple of cousins that live in the city, right? They're tough guys. Hey, man, bro, man, why you do rap? Why you going to do country, man? You should have did rap. Ooh. And I'm like, first of all, I appreciate the constructive criticism, but, go yourself. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And, man, you should have never did that. You should have did, Will Smith, Run DMC, whatever.
Yeah.
So after they see it on the news, saying, oh, brother, it's genius, Yeah. So
yeah, right.
My advice I'm going to give everybody is, don't let people, who cares? As long as you're professional, as long as you're doing right by your clients, right? You're not breaking any MLS rules, go have some fun, try to be creative and do something. You got to stick out somehow.
Beautiful, man. We love the message. Ryan, is there anything you wanted to end with?
No. Thank you for taking your time out to
God bless you,
come
boys.
out here and
good boys, these
sharing
two.
your story and some
Good
tips
guys.
and trips. I want to know what.
Look! I don't want to.
Oh, it's yeah. I just wanted to.
Well,
ask,
I didn't want your camera.
I just want to know when the next video is coming out.
So I was thinking about doing it in January. They got pushed back. But
so it's already in the books. It's like lyrics are
already, yeah. Like I told you, I've got 5 songs on deck,
right.
ready to go.
Nice.
I got the one coming. I think I'm gonna do next. I did a parody to Kenny Rogers, "The Gambler."
Oh, Kenny Rogers.
It's a great song. So I think that's the next one. As far as when, January, February, probably. It's a real good song. You boys are gonna love it.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best ones, at least I think.
I cannot wait.
It'll be nice. Maybe you boys get a little cameo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We would love
Film
to.
them all around, relatively close.
Yeah.
We still are supposed to do one with Josh Ingalls.
Are you?
Yeah, we had a song in the books. I mean,
you guys already wrote a song? It's already done?
Well, no, it's not done.
Parody song or just like an original?
Well, we talked about like a few songs and stuff like that, but we still haven't even reached out to Josh yet.
Josh will come do it whenever he does.
I know he's putting out videos every day.
Yeah, he has fun with it too. When I showed up,
He does. His videos are hilarious.
When I did that, what's the landlord one? He had outfits. He had clothes.
I know.
wardrobe.
I saw that.
He's
so funny behind the camera too.
And look, man, that guy sells a lot of real estate.
He does. He does.
Have you ever heard of Workplace?
No.
So Workplace is like Facebook, but for your company. So it's like an internal Facebook for your company.
Yeah.
So every week, like if you put stuff on there, like, hey, I got an open house.
Kind of like a LinkedIn, a little bit.
It's Facebook, except only people in your company can see it.
Oh,
okay.
Got
It's
it,
called
got it,
Workplace.
Got it.
And every week, Josh has on there. He'll list his open houses that he needs help with. And then, hey, I got one in Morton Grove. Hey, I got two in neighborhood. Hey, it just bang, 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 bang. I'm like, damn.
He's awesome.
And they're not inexpensive homes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm like, good God. I don't see how he doesn't have the time. Plus, he owns a construction company. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
He'll remodel your joint for you.
He's doing all those videos.
Doing videos. But you see what I'm saying? He's out there.
Yeah.
Kid's really popular.
Super, super popular. And he has a great message too.
He does.
The greatest attitude, right? He has an awesome attitude.
He does, man. I think it helps. I try to catch up to him. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to have to do my own thing here.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll catch him in a couple years.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a little piece of the Kenny Rogers song, okay? It goes,
let's hear
starts off. Hold on.
Oh, you got to put the hat on?
Hold on.
This is what I was waiting for. I was hoping you were going to wear that thing the whole time.
Well, the whole. All right, so it's based in an Uber, right? And it goes, on a warm summer's evening, while waiting on an Uber, I met up with an old school realtor. We decided to split the ride, so we both took turns of texting different people on his cell phone until the boredom overtook us, and he began to speak. And here's the chorus. I won't get through the whole thing. You got to be the first to show 'em. Don't be the first to sold 'em. But don't when it comes to offering, be the first to write. You never count your money till you left the closing table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing funds. Woo! It's gonna be a hit.
Dude, I thought you said you can't sing.
No, I can't sing.
I mean, in these headphones, your voice sounds pretty good.
Look, I keep the songs nice and low, so I don't have to go up here.
Those
are
be a good
pretty
good.
Dude, I don't know, man. I mean,
Pretty
you're a
good
great
vocals.
real estate agent, but shit, you might have something
man.
going. You know?
Yeah, man. This is.
Hey, look, I'm telling you,
Shit,
you
who?
just-
Billy Ray Cyrus. He did that video with.
Old Town Road Kid.
Dude, he might reach out.
I've tweeted my song at Garth. He gets 4,000 tweets.
Right.
Yeah.
But, what are you gonna do?
Keep doing it.
Hey, I'll keep doing it. I appreciate you boys having me on.
Yeah, I appreciate
for
it.
coming.
Again, thank you so much, man, and we look forward to seeing you. Thanks, guys, and you guys have to follow this guy.
Follow me.
Follow this guy.
Shaun Cochran, broker, realtor. I'll pop right up. I'm black kid, cowboy hat. You can't miss me.
That's a great thing that we need to mention too. How do they get a hold of you?
Shaun Cochran, broker, realtor, EXP Realty on Facebook. My cell number is 630-330-2229. My website is forsalechicagoland.com. That's the number 4.
Again, Shaun, for the 8th time, thank you so much for spending some time here with us. And
God bless you.
Have a great Sunday, guys. Thank you.
Sure will. Thanks. Hey, that was fun.